Why did the Soviet Union support Nigeria during the Biafran War? During the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970, the Soviet Union made a surprising move. It sided with Nigeria against Biafra. But why? At the time, the Cold War was at its peak, and the USSR was competing with the West for influence in Africa. Nigeria, the most populous country on the continent, was a valuable ally. The Soviets saw an opportunity to gain favor by providing military aid, including fighter jets, tanks, and weapons. Unlike Britain, which supported Nigeria for economic reasons, the Soviet Union had a strategic goal to counter Western influence. The West, including France and Israel, was secretly assisting Biafra, so the Soviets backed Nigeria to keep them from gaining control. It was also about ideology. Even though Nigeria wasn't a communist country, the Soviets wanted to challenge Western dominance in Africa. By helping Nigeria win, they hoped to build strong ties and expand their influence. In the end, Soviet support helped tip the war in Nigeria's favor. Biafra was starved of resources, and with the combined firepower of Britain, the USSR, and other allies, the secessionist state fell in 1970.
Have not been sitting quietly. There has been quite a lot of build-up, and I think what I have here is sufficient to maintain the integrity of Biafra and
keep Nigeria one. No, you fought the war as a manifestation of your incompetence in the management of the crisis that was then part of Nigerian history. And let me explain what I mean. Before independence, the colonial power, Britain, they kind of brainwashed the Nigerian people to maintain their ethnic cleavages, and they needed to make Nigerians live in that disunity so that they could continue their colonization against Nigeria. So they made the North, for instance, to believe they had been educationally disadvantaged. They should not rush into independence because of the likelihood that they will be dominated by the more advanced southern Nigeria. And the North bought into that. And that was why we were delayed from 1954 to 1960. But the actual thing is that Britain just wanted more time to dominate Nigeria. So after independence, that mindset that the South is likely to dominate them remained. And the North was always at every slightest chance, reminding the South that we did not intend to be one country with you because we are suspecting your domination. But the 1966 military coup, pure military coup, has nothing to do with ethnicity or anything, even though people who organized it were predominantly from one ethnic group. But that reinforced the belief by the North that these people, we said it, they want to dominate us. And then they carried out a revenge coup in 1966 July, which was meant actually to separate from Nigeria, not to keep Nigeria one. But the Britain also reminded them that the resources are in the East. So if you leave Nigeria, we are going to support the East. So you better run now that you have acquired power to maintain Nigeria as one. And that made them to have a rethink. And by that time, a lot of Igbos, for instance, have been killed during the pogrom, during the massacre. So there was an entrenched suspicion between the ethnic groups. And this led them to go to Aburi for a conference, and they reached agreement. And it was still Gowon who came back and reneged on the agreement, which inevitably led to the bitter war. And after the war, Gowon declared again, no victor, no vanquished, and promised to reconcile, rehabilitate, and reconstruct the Southeast, which he failed again to do. So all the available opportunities for him to make Nigeria one and consolidate that unity, he was not able to do. But let us make one point clear. Which terminology we use to describe the ones who threw him away. But one thing is clear. After that, he looks as if he went into theology, had a rebirth, and he came back and genuinely went through our Southeast apologizing and asking for forgiveness for his role in the civil. Youthful exuberance of the military young chaps that took over government, who were actually very impressionable at that age. Their inability to manage the crisis contributed in the disunity that resulted in the civil war. We must learn
Okay, good morning. Okay, today, finally is Biafran Euro Celebration Day, and for what we can see all over social media, we've seen massive celebration in Japan, in Edo State, in the southeast, massive lockdown, even in churches, in Catholic churches. You see the chief priest or priest of every church celebrate.
I'll give it to Biafrans all over the world. It's 5 million of Biafrans all over the world, scattered all over the world. It is a good day, and we are celebrating it. We are mourning it at the same time, because our survival depends on the decisions of our yesteryears, fathers who defended our land against oppression. Unfortunately, I want to use this opportunity to celebrate Philip Effiong, for that attempt of not surrendering Biafra to Nigeria. It was discovered that what we had at that time was a ceasefire. And then what is Biafra? Why are we talking about Biafra today? Biafra has become an identity. Biafra has become a religion. Biafra has become our faith. Biafra has become our survival. Biafra has become a destiny. Biafra has become our ritual. Biafra has become, our quest for destiny. And that is why 24 hours we celebrate and mourn over 6 million Biafrans that was killed as a result of incompetence leadership. What is war? War is the absence of leadership that houses anarchy. Leadership failure triggered anarchy. The one fell roughly in leadership and incompetence. And that was what led to that war and 6 million people. Anybody that's saying that the Biafrans all over the world will not mourn, and look at their shoulders and their past and dust it and move forward. Yes, because necessity is the mother of invention. We have been given an identity, and we keep on saying it. But I'm surprised the South region, Edo people, the entire churches everywhere is celebrating. And thank God for the likes of Mazi nnamdi Kanu, who stood firm. And thank God for the founder. And thank God for the Portuguese. And thank God for those who gave us that identity. We celebrate God. We celebrate the first kingdom on earth, Biafra. We celebrate the Ethiopian miners. We also celebrate the Portuguese, who knew the old Eastern province, the territorial integrity, the boundaries, before the British came and fragmented anything that has to do with Biafra. Go on, who is already away from his territory region. We don't know his whereabouts, whether he's in Nigeria or not. I don't know what should be going in his mind now. Well, it has become very clear that the reason for that war was first unnecessary, and it has not brought unity to Nigeria. I want also that the Biafrans have never forgotten the youngest hero, a 22-year-old Colombian university undergraduate, who set himself ablaze, Bruce Merrick, in Washington, United Nations headquarters, New York, protesting the blockade, protesting the involvement of world powers in the Nigeria-Biafra war. He set himself ablaze. We will not forget. And today, the family of that young man is still coming to Biafra land to mark. When Ojukwu died, they were there. When there was an Igbo Day, World Igbo Congress, he was there. So it is a day of mourning, and we will never forget. And we are saying, this generation is saying, never again. It is our right to determine our identity. We are Biafrans, and our language is Igbo. As simple as that. You can't take that away from us. We got it by divinity. We got it by blood. We got it whichever way it is. We got it, and that is what it is. And we will never forget what God had done. We celebrate the lives of Mazi nnamdi Kanu. We celebrate we celebrate also Philip Effiong. We celebrate all the freedom fighters, agitators all over the world, Nigeria and diaspora, for the support they have given to this day. There's no how we cannot remember May 30. And remember, after the declaration of Biafra on May 30th, 1967, it took 6 extra days before the Nigerian Biafra war commenced. And up to today, the reason for that war is still staring us in the face. Biafra sovereignty cannot be negotiated. It is not negotiable. Thank you.
Okay, but we saw what happened last year in Abia State when during the celebration when 6 military officers were killed. And just recently, we heard the NSA nobody come out and say that the Southeast indigene should shun, the sit at home. And at the same time, even yesterday in Anambra State, a certain Friday Obeta was arrested for wanting to enforce sit at home. How do you think today's celebration will go?
It's going to go peaceful. We are not scared of recording some hitches or some glitches or whatever it is, but no matter how I look at it, either by commission or by commission, hook or crook, it is ongoing, and we thank God it's ongoing. It is not it's purely a voluntary thing, and it's also not a voluntary thing, depending on your mindset. But nobody is going to kill anybody for today. This is not a day of Monday sit at home. This is a day, to remember the proclamation and the divine identity of Biafra given to a geographical tribe, people. Very important. Very, very important. The Biafrans speak Igbo. That was the day identity was given. That was the day destiny smiled. That was the day we discovered that we are the ancient Hebrew generation. From the days of Samaria and Judea to the days of Ethiopia, to the days of Ethiopian miners, to the days of Bight of Biafra. Even though Nigeria tried to remove the Bight of Biafra and say it is Bight of Benin, Biafra is still the elder brother of that amalgamation. Biafra has been in a system. Biafra was not Ojuku that brought about Biafra. It wasn't Ojuku. The Igbo people are linked to Biafra because of where we came from. As simple as that. And there's no nation on earth who is bearing Biafra. Go and check it. Find out yourself. The people that they say that they are the ancient Ethiopian miners called Biafrans, they are still there. Go and look at them today. Who are they? They're still telling you they are Igbo people. Ethiopia today, go there. They share boundary between Ethiopia and Equatorial Guinea. Go there today, find out yourself. Where did they get the name Biafra? That is what we are talking about, and that's where we are coming from. The first kingdom on earth is called Biafra. So we are the children of the kingdom. And when I'm talking about the kingdom, the ancient Hebrews, the 12 tribes of Israel, as simple as that.
Okay, but I know you talked about Yakubu Gowon. What do you think that will be going through Yakubu Gowon's mind? Do you think it will be sober that if he had not betrayed Ojukwu back then, do you think that Nigeria would have been where they are today?
Now, of course, Gowon is struggling, to misinterpret the truth and reality about what happened. But there's no how we can, escape from the reality of truth, because we know what happened in Aburi. Aburi is a village in Ghana. It's not far. Anybody can enter motor and go to Aburi and find out what transpired in Aburi. As simple as that. That's the fact. Find out what happened in Aburi. Then you come back. The documents are still there, but because of the way the British system does not want an Igbo movement to spread to the extent to make them very irrelevant and to question their interest in Nigeria. Let me tell you, in honest truth, Nigeria as a name is a racist name. Nigeria, that word Nigeria is a racist name. Go and find out. Anybody that is saying it's not a racist name, come, let us look at it. Yes, Nigeria is a racist name. And why would a British citizen or an American journalist, you know, out of racism, name the populous black nation Nigeria? That's the question a lot of people. So a lot of countries in Africa have renamed. Are they ally? You when they want this video, check out whether ally. Why did the other countries name themselves? Say, I'll not be Africa Coast, I'll not be Black Coast, I'll not be Black Africa, I'll be Ghana. And why? Who named you? From where? The conspiracy theory stopped in 1967, the day Biafra was declared, the liberation of Africa and Africanism started. The quest for sovereignty nations in Africa was spearheaded by an Igbo man, Dr. Nnamdi. The concept of reality of identity was found in the name called Biafra. That speculation, you know, that's why they said that, you know, in Biafra, Africa died. But Africa will rise in Biafra. The day it has started, and there's no going back. It took Israel 4,000 years to become a nation in 1948. It took Israel 4,000 years to become a nation. But through one man, salvation came, and through one man, sin came. We are choosing the path of honor and identity. Nobody will take it away. Anything where you like. If you say like to restructure Nigeria, our region will be called Biafra. Any pattern where you do, you cannot eradicate that name. Eradicate the one that was named by people who hate the Africans. They call them Nigeria. Nigeria means darkness. Gee, that is why when you come to reality, for how many years, no light, no leadership, nothing. And Nigeria has failed to trend the side of reality because it does not want an Igbo existence. I was wondering, you know, the Niger Delta, you see Niger Delta, Tombolo and the rest of them who are supervising the crude, they say they are guard or the security. The pipeline, the crude is going to the north because they hate Igbo man. But I must give it to Tombolo. But you see, I started the Kubo. Yeah, to an extent, Tombolo has shown civility. Tombolo, no, to an extent, if you look at Tombolo, I just like the guy. You know that if I do something, yes, you can see the way he hosted the Igbo socialite billionaires in the Baramatu Kingdom, including the video was there. And I'm just telling you, boss, forget EFCC now. EFCC let them enter from MPA to Baramatu 6 hours on top of speedboat. Let us see whether it will work or not. But I can tell you the truth. There will be movement. There will be a job. Igbo unity, there will be unification of all the nations that are made up of Biafra, and there will be an extension because it does not take a Biafran man to move from eastern part of the country to Ghana in less than 9-8 nautical miles. You are in Ghana, go in China, go and come back. But coming to Lagos every day for you to go to China, it takes you 12-15 nautical miles. They keep on bringing that. I say we are one Nigeria. Other, we are not one Nigeria. If they say that salvation will not come from Igbo man, then I will tell them that one man alone saved the entire whole world and brought salvation to the world. And that is what Africa, and that is what Mazi, Kanu, and that is what Odumegu Dim Ojukwu stood for. And that is what the generation of Philip Effiong, who said that if you could not to treat this generation the way you treated this one that fought the war, then you know definitely that thousands of Ojukwu, thousands of Effiong will rise from this generation. Okay, we have risen and we are asking questions. Where is the lives of 6 million people? And they are still killing in Biafran land. I can tell you that the rising sun.
What a wonderful question, the anchor of this great platform. First and foremost, I want to say, someone has come out to say or has outlined countless times that he said that the Nigerian government cannot win Biafra with a barrel of gun for a second time. Now when he said that, see, Nigerian government cannot win Biafra with a barrel of gun, it means that nobody needs to die for them to exit Nigeria. Now, Ojukwu fought Biafra in a different dimension. Now, Mazi Kanu did it via his own dimension. So Empire is taking it globally. And now, we've seen world body recognize Biafra. We've seen the UN and then some other global body have come out to endorse the Biafra struggle. So kudos to him, it is a plus. Some persons have come out to say that Samonekpa should be discredited, the likes of Ohanes Edigbo and that of the southeastern governors. But my question is that you said Samonekpa should not be taken serious. Then who should be taken serious? The government who is not willing to protect our people? Is it the people who have refused to speak up when the Igbo man has been marginalized in the country? Is it the same governors who have become a tools in the hands of their Fulani master? So for you to even have a character like Samonekpa and nnamdi Kanu to have come out to say enough is enough, that we are tired of this contraption called one Nigerians. It shows that these people have this mindset that, see, they can no longer be the slave. So for him to have even gone as far as to hire lobbyists that will speak on behalf of Biafra in the world in the UN summit, to me it's a plus, and that alone, the voice of Biafrans will be heard globally, and the voice of an Igbo man is also being heard globally. Now let me take it back.